Hello, everybody. Welcome to Monday. The S&P 500 was up a grand total of 0.06% today. Was good in the sense that it was the fifth positive day, and it was down a fair amount at 1.2 and came back towards the end of the day. So not a bad day from an action standpoint. Just from, I'm trying to focus really hard on, what I think are the key issues. And that really has to do with, the China tariffs. There's lots of things to talk about. I mean, this week we have, four of the Magnificent Seven reporting earnings. This is the big tech earning week. But, that's sort of a looking in the rearview mirror at the first quarter here, which didn't really incorporate that much in tariffs quite yet. That's going to be more of a second quarter thing. The forward guidance that we get from all these earnings reports will be somewhat interesting, but I don't think anybody's going to really be able to tell what they're going to be able to do. Probably they'll be more pessimistic, and that may already be written into the price. So we'll see what happens. So I think that the key thing here is just, what's happening with China. So, we heard from Trump that Xi Jinping, reached out. We heard from China that they did not reach out. So, that's been an ongoing back and forth. Obviously, something needs to start sooner than later because we already have a lot of shipments that have been discontinued coming from China into the U.S. and we're going to have gaps in what's available. So if you look, inventories are pretty high. Demand has been dropping down a little bit as consumers get more concerned. So that makes the inventories last even longer. So we probably won't see significant shortages from what's already happened, until maybe June or even July, depending on the situation. And so that, hopefully, because that gap's already kind of built in right now. The longer we go without talking to China and dealing with this, the more that gap is going to extend, and the more issues you're going to have. It's going to hit trucking really soon here because they're the ones pulling those things off of those ships. Other types of transportation, it will hit retail eventually, those areas. So now, the Treasury Secretary Bessent said that they were setting China aside for the moment and working on these other 12 to 17 deals that they've got going on, which I'm glad that they're working on these deals, but really not glad that they're setting China aside or even thinking about it or talking about it, because I do think that's the biggest issue. Right now, the other tariffs are at 10%. For the most part, a couple of them are at 25%, but none of them are at 145%. And that's got to be the key focus. As long as that's there, every day that goes by, you're going to have companies that aren't ordering. They can't afford to pay the tariff or what have you. So not a lot of change in that particular portion of the dialogue, but doesn't mean it can't change pretty quickly here. Somebody's going to blink, one side or the other here as far as that goes. So, interesting day. Not a lot happened altogether. I do think that, there'll be some significant conversation around these earnings as far as that goes. So it will be interesting to see, how these companies have been doing, Apple and Microsoft and et cetera, that are all going to be reporting, Amazon and such too. And we might get some visibility into some of the consumer behavior here and see what's happening as far as that goes. But anyway, look forward to talking to you tomorrow, and we'll see you then. Thank you very much.